noon hour is here.
Check it out.
And you're locked on to Utah's highest rated, most listened to sports radio station.
It's my station. It's my station.
This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, folks. Gather around the radio. Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is a Monday. Boy, do we have a busy, busy show. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic, and I'm sure everybody wants to hear about Brooks Koepka coming back to the PGA Tour. Is that where we're starting? Brooks Koepka returning to the PGA Tour.
Brooksy's back.
Brooksy's back, and the Tour can breathe easy because they don't have to fight for Brooksy.
Yeah.
Brooks Koepka returning, leaving the money. I wonder how much money he's leaving behind. None?
I think that there is from what I've heard, that there's a restructuring going on in LIV where they may have actually hit the tipping point where they're like, you know what, we're going to bring this down a little bit. And I guarantee they were like, hey, Brooksy, we're going to need you to take a haircut.
You remember when Prokhorov did that with the Nets?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Prokhorov comes into the NBA like, I've got billions. And he gets hit with a couple of bills, and he wins 28 games. And that's what – didn't he bring in Kevin Garnett?
Oh, yeah,
Darren
Paul
Williams?
Pierce, Kevin Garnett. Then he all of a sudden realized, you know what? I'm going to sell this team.
And
I'm not really enjoying this.
Why are we not winning?
Yeah.
I thought I could come in, buy players, and why are we not winning?
Yeah.
But it's awesome, man. The sports weekend was incredible, Scotty.
Yeah, it was. NFL playoffs, all kinds of good stuff going on. College basketball. I think it's back, but that's just me. I love college hoops, and I think we saw a Utah team that showed a pulse.
Yeah, we saw a Utah team that showed a pulse, a BYU team that found a way to get it done when they couldn't last year.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of different storylines and rumblings from what happened in Boise. What was this mess? Where Boise was selling student tickets and then wouldn't sell to students.
All right.
And then
so their students are not in session yet. They're on the, I guess, maybe the quarter system. So much like how Utah State over the last two games, home games, their students have not been in town. So what they do is they open it up to the public and say, hey, you can be a student, come back for a day. And they sell discounted tickets to the community to try to fill up those tickets that are normally assigned to students. Well, Boise State had the similar situation. First off, their students don't go to games, period. Second of all,
didn't even know they went to school.
Yeah, exactly. Well, using the word school might be a bit of a stretch.
Oh, my gosh, when Scotty bites into BSU, it's always something.
So Boise decided to have a campaign where, like, hey, if you're a student, college, high school, pre-K, whatever, community college, all you have to do is come to the game, show your ID, your school ID, and you will get into the game for free because they wanted to pack that place. Big game against Utah State. And so, and their tweet was, any and all students. That's what they tweeted out.
Okay.
So, Utah State students caught wind of it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, wait a minute. That's just about a 4-hour drive. We have a student ID. Let's go.
Yeah.
And so
it's a great price on a ticket.
Yeah, exactly. So they started rumbling. And then all of a sudden, Cam Walker, Jared Calhoun, and others said, hey, guess what? We will chip in and we'll raise money and we will get you gas cards and reimburse you for the gas going up there. And so they raised quickly about $4,000.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
okay, so there wasn't any transport. They weren't. I thought they'd put together a bus, but they were just giving gas cards.
Just going to give gas money and say, there you go. Well, Boise State finds out what's going on and realizes, oh, no.
We screwed up. We're going to have a ton of Aggies in here.
Yes. So they reversed the policy and said, we meant you had to have an Idaho school ID, whether it's,
That's
high school
dirty.
in Idaho and stuff. And their AD even admitted, like, all right, you guys found a loophole, but guess what? I'm closing it. Nobody.
That's so dirty.
And so they said, okay, we've got $4,000 here to play with. If you guys can manage your gas, we will pay for the tickets. The tickets were only like $15, $16. Okay. So they decided to put that money, and they still paid for the tickets for the kids to get in, and they had a crazy student section there.
The flotilla arrived.
Oh, man, it was so funny because you could hear them right out of the gate. And there was actually a pretty decent Boise State crowd.
Yeah.
But those students, you know how loud and obnoxious they can get.
Yeah,
and they bled over the entire game. And then Utah State came out and just hammered Boise State.
It's the most underrated student body.
Yes.
It really is.
It's incredible.
Every time I've been up to the Spectrum, I just am like, these guys go to great lengths. I still have never seen student section wear rubber gloves to make their clap louder. It's innovative. It's a little bit crazy. But it's the next step that you take when you're like, what else can we do to be completely obnoxious?
How can we make this louder?
And I know you were a little bit nervous about that game.
Oh, I know.
That was dismantling.
Yeah, 10-0 right out of the gate. Ended up, they were up by as many as I think 33. Ended up winning by 25 just because of some garbage points Boise State poured on late. But that was a crazy dismantling. And it was really cool afterwards. They brought all the students down that were there, put them courtside, and had the players in front of them, took a really cool picture. And it was
I saw the picture.
And Boise State fans apparently are irate about it. Like, how dare you accommodate them, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, whatever. It was great.
It was fun.
The picture was awesome. Speaking of 10-0, should we jump into the starter?
Let's get to it. Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is Hans and Scotty G.
Let's go!
The lineup is set, and it's time to kick off the show with the biggest topic of the day. This is the starting lineup on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hans, it was a fun one this weekend.
It was a really fun one, and I decided to take Miss Amanda and head up to the Huntsman Center and take in a little rivalry game.
You had a pretty good view of that one, too.
I did. It was awesome. It was great. And big shout out to Sean and everybody else that helped me get in because it's not an easy ticket to get.
No, that one's not easy.
No, it's not an easy ticket to get. But so I'm sitting there with Amanda, and we got there early because I wanted to just take in the whole rivalry game experience. And the place was buzzing because everybody's like, hey, we did it last year. We did it last year. We took care of business in this building last year. We're going to do it again this year. And then you had the other people that are like, this AJ DeBonsa. You had the realists out there that were like, oh, this AJ DeBonsa is unstoppable. Then you had the other people that were like, oh, this is the one. And you could feel there was a real buzz. I mean, Utah felt like they could come in. The Utah fan base felt like Alex Jensen and this running Utes team could come in and compete. And I thought that the game ops were awesome. I really did. And I know people are making a big thing because Swoop rappelled down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
And he went about scoreboard high and hung there for quite a while, probably 2-3 minutes. And then he started to come down, and then he came down fast. All of a sudden, he just unleashed, and it came down fast, and his carabiner came out of the rope, and he hit the floor pretty good and went down to his butt and kind of his butt and his legs. And I was like, either he was trying to put on a show to get down fast or he ran out of rope. I don't know what happened. But that was just one thing that kind of kicked off the energy, and then he jumped up and he was going crazy.
Okay, so he's all right.
Yeah, he was okay.
Right.
But it was like for just a second, I'm like, oh. And then everybody's in their seats before the initial call out.
What's the red to blue ratio?
By my count, I would give it
Your estimation.
65-35.
Okay.
Utah to BYU. No, I might go 60-40. I sent out a video. It's a hard call because everything BYU was really up high, heavy up high.
Yeah.
And then Utah was pretty well in the lower bowl. But it felt like it's maybe a 60-40 something split. But everybody was in their seats for the initial call-outs, and the place was rocking when they started calling out the players. I thought that Utah did a really good job. I think their game ops does a good job.
Oh, really? It's been forever since I've been to a basketball game up there.
I actually think their game ops does a really good job.
Okay, cool.
Now, maybe they went the extra mile because this is the rivalry game. They knew the place would be packed. But they had all kinds of different fun games that they were rolling out, and they had up until it felt like there was a timeout every 5 seconds and a TV timeout every 5 seconds and an official's timeout every 5 seconds, with about 7 minutes left in that game, there were all these timeouts and TV timeouts, and they ran out of game ops. Because they were running people on the court every time there was a timeout, running people on the court, free throws or 3 points, and they were running tic-tac-toes, and Swoop would come out, and he's doing things, and they were doing like the chicken dance. And,
you can only have so many baby races.
Yeah.
And it's just, and then all of a sudden you're like, all right, we're out of babies. We got nothing else.
I could tell like they did hit a game ops limit. But up until that limit, all kinds of fun activities. And you were talking about Utah State jumping out on Boise State. That game tips and Utah jumps out, whatever it was, 8-0 or 10-0. They jump out to a nice, fast, exciting, and energizing start. And all of a sudden, the people around me start believing, like, oh, it's going to happen again, because I was mostly surrounded by Utah fans.
Yeah.
It's going to happen again. Oh, my gosh, it's actually happening. And then you just see A.J. DeBonsa slowly grab the energy. Richie Saunders, he has such a great awareness. When you watch Saunders, you just watch a basketball player. Full awareness of momentum, of crowd, of coaching command, of scheme, of person. He just has a full command. And he's like, okay, well, what can I do here? All right, I'm going to go out. I'm going to go hit this catch and shoot. I'm going to change the momentum. All right, I'm feeling the energy. What can I do? Okay, I'm going to work inside the paint. I'm going to go pull down this rebound. All right, what's happening here? What's going on now? All right, it's back to the catch and shoot. I'm going to rotate out deep. A.J. DeBonsa drives in, Rob Wright drives in, fires it out to a corner to A.J. You've got a quick double close. Richie Saunders on a trailer to the break, and A.J. hits him full speed, catch and shoot, hits the three, grabs the energy. It's like full awareness of everything that this kid has taken in, and he's fun to watch. Richie Saunders was actually more of the show to me than A.J. DeBonsa was in this game. And if you were to try to, if you were to say, okay, well, where did the game come down to, and what grabbed it, and what finally turned it for BYU? Because Utah kept it close. They were keeping it within one possession as you're closing in on 3 minutes. And what was it? It was Richie Saunders and his boards.
Yeah.
He had 6 offensive rebounds in that game. He had 14 total boards. And I felt like every time you needed an extra chance to either continue to burn the clock down as you're holding a 3 or 5 point lead, or, fire it back to the outside and work the shot clock a little bit, or get the rebound, defensive rebound, and try to get the quick transition going the other way. My observation of that game was Richie Saunders' boards were the difference.
And this is what I think is really impressive about this BYU team. And I want to talk about Utah here in a bit, because I think they deserve a ton of props for what they were able to do. But BYU, and this is what's going to be frustrating to teams that play them in the Big 12 and eventually in the NCAA tournament, there's so many different ways that they can beat you. Obviously, we know about A.J. DeBonsa, but don't forget, Richie Saunders is a hell of a player. Like, he went from the face of the team to now being, the third option for the team. Mm-hmm. And you know what? He's totally fine with that. Yeah. And there are going to be games where Richie Saunders is going to lead your team to a victory. And that was one of them. And I think A.J. DeBonsa's totally fine with that. Rob Wright's totally fine with that. And it was just those moments where you can tell that it's like, okay, you know what? This is going to be a game I'm going to need to play well. This is a game where I'm going to have to put the team on my shoulders. And he's capable of doing that. That's going to be frustrating, because your game plan, game one, every game is going to be, where's AJ? Mm-hmm. All right, that's the guy we got to showcase on. We got to focus in on him, find a way to limit him. Okay, well, now we got Richie Saunders coming up and going for a double-double with 30 points plus. Well, shoot. What are we going to do about that? And so it's a bit of a pick your poison. But props to Utah for hanging in there every step of the way. A one-possession game late, BYU's trying to foul up 3, and you turn it over. But, it was just a minuscule moment away, just a play or two away from that thing going into perhaps OT.
It was. It was a great game. Exciting and a lot of fun. And I could see Alex Jensen was trying to do. Alex Jensen was collapsing on A.J. DeBonsa. Every time A.J. touched the ball, you had Traore, or you had Brown, or you had McHenry, or you had Dawes, any one of the combination, but you typically had two guys that would hammer down, and you had a third guy that would come in and harass until that ball got up A.J.'s hands. But this is the difference with A.J. DeBonsa that I don't see with a lot of college kids. When you get that double pressure or you get that third man pressure, I feel like college players panic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They stall out. They turn over the ball. They call the timeout. They don't know what to do. They're overwhelmed by the pressure. What does A.J. DeBonsa do? He uses his length, he gets separation, and he finds windows, and he distributes. That's the difference.
100%.
That's what changes the game of basketball.
Yep.
Okay, great game plan, Alex. You knew you had to get that ball out of DeBonsa's hands. You knew it. So you drew up some really hard, really aggressive defense every time he touches it. But the difference was A.J. would get it out of the window. He would find some distribution that would then lead to an open shot that was then knocked down. The threes were ugly. At one point in the first half, Utah was 1 of 11, and BYU was something like 2 of 10 or 2 of 11, something like that. 2 of 10, I think it was. Now, things ramped up a little bit more in the second half because, and BYU only made, I guess, 4 of about 20. No, 4 of about 15.
Yeah.
From then on, but they did hit a couple of open looks that were really necessary. But when AJ can distribute out of the collapse, what do?
Yeah. It's wide open.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
And it's what every team is going to have to do. Because when AJ gets ahead of steam at the top of the key, if he gets ahead of steam on you, you're screwed. He's going to posterize you. Now, there was one beautiful block shot that you saw that A.J. DeBonsa went up for the posterizing, one-handed, over-the-top, and you get a hand on that thing, and that was probably the most noise in the arena on the entire night, was the block. That was as loud as it got, I thought. But outside of that, A.J. DeBonsa, when he gets moving, Scotty, he's so fluid.
Yeah. No, that's a guy that, frankly, should not. Look, I'm all about guys playing college ball. And I believe that the 1-year rule, Danny Ainge wants it 2 or 3 years. But I'm all in favor of the 1-year rule. But there is a certain classification of player that you see and you're like, yeah, you probably shouldn't be playing college ball.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of those, and you just watch him out there and it's like, oh, he's different.
He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so smooth and poised, and his shot is so pure, and his movements look like they were born for the game.
Yeah.
So he's a special talent. And I go back to BYU sits 15-1. So BYU is officially past the halfway mark.
Yeah.
They got 15 games left, and they sit 15-1. And I go back to the UConn game, and we were just talking about Rob Wright. You remember against UConn, they had a chance.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They had a chance, and Rob Wright lost possession of the ball. And I think that team in that moment learned a lot about possession, personnel, who it is. It's never going to be an identified man. Like you said, it can be by committee. Rob Wright can end it. A.J. DeBonsa can end it. Richie Saunders can end it. There's plenty of guys on that team that can swoop the momentum away from a team.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. And dish it back at you. And I think that this team really very easily could be undefeated.
Oh, very easily. Yeah.
You lose 86-84 to that UConn team. That was game 4 of the season.
Yeah.
They started out the season. They beat Villanova. They beat Holy Cross. They beat Delaware. And then they had UConn. And remember, they come off that UConn game, and they beat Wisconsin by 28 points. Mm-hmm. So I look at the halfway point or just past the halfway point, beating your rival on their court. I know that Utah has really struggled this year, but you could see they came out with juice and energy.
No, and they're building. Alex is going to get them there.
I think Alex is going to get him there, and I think Alex did have a good game plan for BYU.
Yeah.
But you look at what they've got moving forward. They still have number 15 Texas Tech in their way, number 1 Arizona in their way twice, 15 Texas Tech twice. They've got number 7 Houston once, and they still have to go on the road to Kansas.
Yeah,
it's murderer's row.
Yeah,
but let's just say, for sake of conversation, let's say they come out of this thing with 3 losses. 3 losses, and they finish the season 29 and 3 or 28 and 3.
3 losses total, or 3 losses in conference?
3 losses total.
3 losses total, and they're 28 and 1. I think they're 28 and 3. I think it's a 31 game schedule.
I think it's a 31 game schedule. 28 and 3, and let's say they beat Houston, they split with Arizona, and they lose to Iowa State.
In that scenario, they're a 2 seed, close to a 1 seed, depending on what they do in the conference tournament.
What's the highest seed BYU's ever been? Have they ever been a 2 seed?
I don't think they've been a 2. Have they been a 3? That's a good question.
I'll figure it out.
We'll do a little research on that. Hans and Scotty right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Looking for the latest on the Jazz, Utes, Cougars, and Aggies? Yeah, we've got you covered. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. By the way, you heard Will Hardy there. There's losses, and then there's 55-point losses at home to a team that came into that game with 13 wins.
Oh, man. Bro, Scotty.
Yeah.
The worst in Jazz history.
Yeah, that was
to a 14-win Hornets team.
Yeah, that's not good.
LaMelo Ball was plus 37. Plus 37.
Wasn't there a Jazz player that was minus 50?
There was minus 60.
Minus 60.
Yeah, Cody Williams.
Oh, Cody. Oof.
32 minutes, he was minus 60.
Yep,
Have you ever seen a minus 60?
No, I've never seen a minus 60. Never.
How do you get a minus 60?
Really? How do you get fired on your day off? How do you get a minus 60 at a home game against Charlotte?
Cody, no!
That's a record you don't want to have.
Cody, no.
Oh, Bubba.
Oh, Bubba, no. Brandon Miller was plus 36. Diabate was plus 38. I mean, you had, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bench players scored in double digits.
Ooh. All right, so I like that quote from Will Hardy because from a coaching standpoint, there are games that – and Jerry Sloan was the king of this because everybody thought that Jerry Sloan was this hard-A, mean SOB, and he could be at times, but there was a big method to his madness. And, Hans, you were in enough of those post-game scrums. Mm-hmm. There'd be a tough loss, and you think, Jerry's going to just –
He's going to hammer him.
He's going to hammer. And he would be – soft-spoken. He'd be like, all right, there's some things to work on. We're going to get all right. We're going to get back on track. I'm like, wait a minute.
Exactly.
And then there'd be times where the Jazz would win, and he's like, we only send them to the free throw line 10 times. This is not a tough team, blah, blah. And it's like, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. Well, he's sending that message through the media to his players because he doesn't want to come out and be overly critical because as Will Hardy just mentioned, and we'll play, and here's that cut again, like, hey, look, they already feel bad enough. They know they're the ones on the court. They're the ones that got embarrassed. It doesn't help putting any salt in the wound here.
Those are my guys. That's a hard night for all of us. I make it a point to always stand because I'm never going to be the person that's going to sit and hide while we're getting our heads kicked in. But I also recognize I'm on these guys really hard, but in certain moments, my first responsibility is for them to know that I'm with them and that I'm not another critic, I'm not another person chirping from the crowd, and I'm not compounding what is already a bad feeling. You know, I have to have enough feel in certain moments to know they know and already feel awful about how it's going. They don't need me adding to that in those moments.
Jeez.
Really self-aware, because I'm sure he would love nothing more than to just tear into these guys a new one. But he knows it's not going to do
That was
any
a
good.
masterpiece of dog shit.
Yeah. Now that was a different game. That wasn't this game. That was one from last year.
Because here's the hard thing: as a head coach, your name is attached to that product more than any individual's name. Agreed?
Yep, 100%.
I think
You're the chef.
Yeah, your name is now attached to a 55-point loss to a 14-25 Charlotte team. How do you not come unglued, unbuttoned, and burn the whole thing down, tear everybody in half, and say, that's how you're going to represent me? That's how you're going to represent the Will Hardy brand? You didn't show up for me? I'm sure that they're getting an earful away from the media mic. He handled it right in front of the media. It's exactly it.
Yeah.
I'm in the trench with these guys. But his name is now synonymous with the 55-point loss to the Charlotte Hornets. And that hurts. And I'm sure that he is ripping people in half, and they're having a real soul search as a unit, because that was horrifying.
Yeah, that was, and it was funny. I was doing the Utah State game, and I know you were at the Utah game and getting updates. Mm-hmm. David James is sending me like, well, they're down 20. Oh, they're down 30. And I'm like, what? What is this? This can't be happening.
Have you ever seen a team down 31 points in the first
quarter?
No.
First quarter, no. I'm sure it's happened, but I've never seen it happen before. And maybe it hasn't happened. I don't know, but
I've never 31 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it. So
like, it almost wonders, like, it makes you wonder, like, there's losses, and then there's like, wait a minute, like, did something go on? Is there a weird Kardashian figure that's entered into
goat buried in the arena, or like, is that what you're meaning?
Yeah, like it almost seems like something happened there. It was like back in the day when the Dallas Mavericks had Jason Kidd and Jimmy Jackson on the team, and they were just rolling, and then all of a sudden, both of them fell in love with Tony Braxton, and it just wrecked the team. Like, is there some weird love triangle going on? Like, I don't know. Like, this is a crazy, crazy game that you just, like, an NBA team doesn't lose by 55. It just doesn't happen.
Now, to their credit, it would have been really hard to not fall in love with Tony Braxton.
Oh, yeah.
In the 90s.
Unbreak My Heart. That video, it got all of us emotional.
I'm pretty sure that it would have tore this show, three of us, at the seams.
Oh.
If Tony Braxton was in the office in the 90s.
Yeah. Not today, Tony Braxton.
100% pure love. Every one of her songs. She had that sultry, deep, female bass.
When she hits that Unbreak My Heart, that chorus, and she just rips it. And it's like, wow.
And Tyrese goes flying over that car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it Tyrese? No,
I think so.
Tyson Beckford.
Oh.
Tyrese is the
What is this? This is awful, Tony Braxton.
No, that was not. That was not.
It's definitely not Unbreak My Heart.
It sounded like the start of it, but then it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's turned into some weird techno.
Yeah, somebody got a hold of that one and remixed it, unfortunately.
Look, at this point, there's a very big part of me that doesn't mind if Tony Braxton is tearing this team at the seams, because I was
after
going
you
through...
saw A.J. Devontae.
Oh, jeez. So I was going through... somebody did a write-up, some national writer did a write-up on the top 9 properties of the Utah Jazz. And the number 1 property is still the 2026 top 8 protected pick that will not convey to the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's the number 1 product. And we're here, and things got weird for a minute. It was like, oh, you're going to lose it. But you have to finish top 8 or bottom 8 if you're looking at a draft perspective. But remember, Scotty, you and I talked a lot about this last year when the Jazz were making sure that didn't convey. That doesn't mean that you can just finish 6th or 7th or 8th.
No.
Because if the draft lottery hits you and you fall to 10th, you convey.
Oh, absolutely.
You lose that pick.
Yeah. In fact, if the Jazz finished with the 7th worst record, I guarantee they'd lose that pick.
They would lose that pick.
Yeah.
That's just the way things go for the Jazz.
Yeah.
The Jazz need to finish in the bottom 4.
Yep.
To kind of ensure that they can't fall out of the top 8 picks. So I look at it, I'm like, yeah, this is a mess. This is a mess. But let's not fix it yet.
No.
Let's let some of this stew out, and let's figure out who has some guts and who wants to figure this out. But there's work to do with this top pick.
Yeah, and everybody thinks A.J. DeBonsa because he's here in our backyard, but you got the Boozer kid. You got so many. This very well could be a 2003 NBA draft that had Carmelo and LeBron, Dwayne Wade. Like that's the quality you could have in this draft. You do not want to screw it up.
Yeah, and A.J. DeBonsa is your golden ticket because you're going to have a built-in fan base that loves the kid because he's repped the Cougars so well.
Yeah,
he's repped the brand. He's embraced it. And he's made it big.
Well, if you want to think long term here, the guy played high school at Wasatch, right?
He did.
And
he's a Wasatch Academy.
Yeah. So he chose to go to Utah for high school. He chose to go to Utah to college. If you're wondering about, well, in 3 years or 5 years or 7 years, he's going to be gone. Well, that kind of helps out. That puts the odds a little bit more in your favor.
Yeah. Bro, he would be incredible for the Jazz if they could do it. Now, I think that the Jazz really learned a sour lesson last year.
Yeah.
When they were out there for Cooper Flag and they fell as far as they fell. It was a sour, probably horribly bitter pill. And you and I were following it, and we were following it with individuals that were in the front office. And those individuals were all in. It was hey, it's everything you can do for Cooper Flag. And they really got stung. Really got stung. Now, let's see how things kind of work out here. But it feels like they really got stung. Probably learned a pretty horrible lesson. And I'm not saying they got to finish the worst record like they did last year. I'm not even saying they got to finish with the second worst. But I think anything 4th and lower is for the best for the Jazz future. And something like this sucks. You don't want to lose a 55-point game. That's a heartbreaker. I don't know how some of these guys overcome it. A lot of these guys are going to have to look in the mirror. I don't know how Kevin Love did. Kevin Love probably has never lost a game by 55 points.
No, not a chance. And he's been part of some bad teams, too.
He's been part of some bad teams. And they're going to have to do some soul-searching. But I watched a few of the highlights of Con Knipple, and that's a guy that would have been nice.
Yeah.
It's a guy that would have been a really nice addition. He's already averaging 25 and 4.
It's not a foregone conclusion. Cooper Flag wins Rookie of the Year.
And
Con's right there with him.
You were the first one that brought Con up to me. And then I started watching some film and doing some research, and it was like, no, that's a hot name. And Con went 1 pick before the Jazz, right?
Yeah, I think he went 4.
He went 4. So he's special. He's going to be a really special player. Now, somebody has to score for Charlotte, and I don't know how many people are locked in on Con at this point, but early parts, he sure looks good.
Yeah. All right, what you may have missed coming up next, Hans and Scotty. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Number 1.
Miss any part of the show? Every moment of every show is available in podcast form by searching Hans and Scotty on your favorite podcasting platform or online at KSLSports.com. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're going to be hanging out coming up on Wednesday. Tim Daly, Nissan Southtown, 11155 South Jordan Gateway in South Jordan. It's really easy to find. Just west of I-15.
It's
easy.
Easy to find.
You see the big old dealership.
It's the best.
Tim Daly, home of the forever warranty.
They're great people.
Yep. Tyler's the man.
And we all own cars from them.
Yes, we do. We are a proud supporter of the Tim Daly family.
Tim Daly family's doing well off Hans and Scotty.
Yes, they are.
Even if they didn't sell a single car to a listener.
Yeah, we got them covered.
Oh, somehow our advertising has gotten us hooked.
Well, and I like how, let's say maybe Jake needs to move 1 or 2 vehicles at the end of a month. He's like, hey, what's up, bro? How are you?
How's it? Amanda liking that 90?
Yeah. Like, we could shave a couple dollars off that payment if we do this.
Which they've done.
They have.
But I think they've got themselves to a zero margin now on Amanda's cars.
Yeah, the same.
It's like, there's no way they're shaving any more off. They're as low as they can. I think the payment on a brand new 90, third row.
Yeah. PHEV?
At a PHEV, I think it's somewhere mid threes, 300, 350, something like that.
There you go.
It's insane.
Yeah.
No money down.
Yeah, crazy.
You can hit leasing options on these cars and pay nothing and never see a check engine light ever again.
That's the beauty of it right there. I had so many car issues. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. Can't do it.
Because I'm driving that F-150 that I had to replace the engine because I just love the stupid truck. I like the noise, whatever it does. I've put electrical tape over the check engine light. So I've got electric tape like on the dash just in front of because I know it's still it's been on for like a year and it's still driving.
Yeah.
So I hate the light because it makes you feel sick.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I've taped over the light.
Taped over the light?
Yeah.
That may be one of the favorite things you've ever done.
That light ticks me off. So
like, I just changed your engine. You're fine.
I did. I just put a new engine in you.
I lost all that money. I took all that money out of crypto just to pay for you.
Yeah, I did.
I know.
Took it all out of Doge.
Right before it dropped.
Right before it dropped. I got Doge at 38 cents.
And now it's like at 13.
Yeah, 12. 12 or 13. It's miserable.
All right, NFL playoffs. We'll talk about that coming up next. But you mentioned at the beginning of the show, Brooksy's coming back. Brooks Koepka returning to the PGA Tour. Who cares?
Nobody.
Not a soul. He's out there like, when I was a child, I always dreamed about competing on the PGA Tour. I'm just excited today. I'm announcing I'm returning. And everybody's like, what, you left?
And you gained 50 pounds?
Yeah, like what happened there?
Got fat and happy in Saudi Arabia, huh?
Yeah, no doubt. Tiger's over there like, hey, you're going to compete again. You better tighten up.
Because there was a point where Koepka was a fit beast.
Yeah.
Then I was watching an event, and I'm like, geez, Brooksy.
Yeah. I bet DeChambeau's enjoying that.
He's on the DeChambeau calorie train without the lifting.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm eating all these calories. Yeah, but you have to couple that with this.
It's actually kind of a tandem, but he's back. I don't think he's going to move anything. But
Nope.
He's back.
All right, Hans and Scotty. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
You're locked on to Hans Olsen and Scotty Chin.
That's right. Yeah!
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
That's good.
All right, yeah. Nothing gets me ready to talk NFL football more than this. Let's go.
The song used to have meaning.
I know.
Still gets me, though.
Yeah, for sure. John Breech is going to join us coming up here in just a moment from CBS Sports. Get his thoughts on the crazy NFL weekend that was. All those playoff games were just fantastic. Fantastic. Lloyd, you can bring this down. We're kind of done with this. Like all the way down. All the way down. There we go. Yeah.
You don't like it? You're not David Bowie?
Well, no, it just doesn't really get me all
it's not the
fired
of the
up
NFL
for football. Yeah.
It was one of the best wild card weekends you could try to draw up. That's what a wild card weekend is supposed to be. Every game.
Yep.
Every single game was competitive. Even the Chargers, with 5 minutes left when they had that possession when Herbert fumbled.
Yeah.
Even the Chargers with a touchdown make it a one possession with 4 minutes.
Yep.
But you just decide roughing the passer doesn't exist anymore.
Hey, you know what? Patrick Mahomes isn't in the playoffs, so neither is, as you mentioned, roughing the passer.
Both are out.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, John Breech, CBS Sports, kind enough to join us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. John, how you doing? And he gone.
Yeah, both are out. And that shot that Herbert took is as hard on the chin shot as I've seen a quarterback take in a long time.
That dude looked like he was dead after some of those hits in that game.
Can you help me with something? I'm going to ask you a really stupid football question that makes me vulnerable, but I don't give a crap.
When have we not been vulnerable on this show?
So I'm a bit vulnerable here.
Yeah, I may have dropped an F-bomb earlier in the show.
Yeah, you did. And that's fine. We'll get over it.
I didn't, but
We'll get over it. No, it wasn't. But it was close. Okay, so defender comes in, hits Herbert, but he's fumbling before the hit. So do they call a roughing the passer? Does the ball, because that fumble occurred before the hit, would that have gone back to the Chargers, or would that have been 15 yards?
No, I think once the ball's fumbled, he's open season. I think once that ball's out, there's no more.
Okay, so you can just pop it.
That's my thought, but, every now and then, I'm no Gene Statador. I mean.
Well, either is Gene.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's just walking the company line.
He's just like, all right, what do you want me to say? Yep. Okay. Yeah,
we'll do it.
Troy, you're spot on that one.
Yep.
John Breech, CBS Sports, kind enough to join us. John, how are you?
Doing fantastic. How are you guys doing?
Really good.
Better than Justin Herbert after he got knocked around last night.
For sure.
Yeah, that's painful. Hey, we were just talking about that. So you could have hit him with a roughing the passer. The ball was starting to fumble before he took the shot. Kind of walk us through that play and not just the play, but the impact.
Yeah, I mean, that really felt like a huge difference in the game because that could have been a 15-yard penalty if you do take a shot to the head. But it just felt like that kind of epitomized everything that the Chargers were going through in that game. Justin Herbert just got hit so many times. And as a quarterback, if you don't have time to throw, even the fastest releases at 2 seconds maybe, and Justin Herbert had people in his face at all times. And it was painful. I was getting hurt just watching him get hit. But when your offensive line, the Chargers have obviously dealt with so many injuries this year, Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, and somehow they kind of bandaged it together and hobbled their way to the playoffs. But the Patriots just had a defense that was able to expose all those issues that the Chargers have had. And that was really kind of the story of the game there. It was just Justin Herbert taking hit after hit after hit after hit.
So I think a lot of us on the Patriots, myself included, and I'm a Broncos fan, so I can lump them in together. I think all of us have been watching the Patriots and Broncos throughout the year, being like, it's going to fall apart. It's going to fall apart. This isn't sustainable. But the Patriots go and they beat the Raiders, and they beat the Chargers, and then Denver's got the number 1 seed. Which of those two teams do you have more faith in going and making a run in the AFC?
Well, I agree with you. It does feel like that both of these teams kind of feel like a house of cards just waiting to crumble down, and that will happen at some point. And you look at the Patriots kind of lucked out with the perfect draw in the wild card round with a beat-up Chargers team, and now they're either going to face the Texans or the Steelers, and so it gets a little bit more interesting. I would say if the Texans win tonight, that's going to be a tough matchup for the Patriots because they haven't seen a defense that good really all year. And then obviously the Broncos have a tough matchup with the Bills, but Bills only getting 5 days of rest before going in there. The Broncos coming off a bye, so they'll certainly be fresher. But I don't know which one is going to go further. I don't think either of them is going to get to the Super Bowl. So maybe one of them gets to the AFC title game, but I see both of them going down at some point before we get to the Super Bowl.
Man, we've had some dramatic matchups. Saturday was incredible. The Rams-Panthers going down to the wire. Bears-Packers going down to the wire. To this point, what's been your favorite game? What's captivated your mind the most?
I thought the Rams-Panthers was the most surprise. Obviously, tons of drama with the Bears and Packers and tons of drama with 49ers-Eagles. But just because the Rams-Panthers game was so unexpected, you had a Rams team that lost to Carolina back in November, so you knew they weren't going to be overlooking them. They knew the Panthers were tough. They knew they could give them a game. And somehow Carolina still came out and had a 4-point lead with 2 minutes left. So I just thought that was absolutely stunning, and that Matthew Stafford really looked average for most of the game. And, granted, he did sprain his finger, and that definitely didn't help things. But for him, and we had all the MVP talk all season, for him to come up in the clutch on that final drive and then throw a touchdown pass with just, 38 seconds left, that's what you have to do in the playoffs. You have to come up and make the big plays. And I thought that was the most entertaining game just because it was the most kind of unexpected.
We talk about teams like the Chargers that were just beat to hell. The 49ers have dealt with injuries as much as anybody, if not more, the entire season, but yet they're still able to get a victory. Kittle's, rips up the Achilles, so his season is done. How sustainable is what we've seen Kyle Shanahan put together there in San Francisco?
Yeah, it is really like they're a house of cards held together by Band-Aids because of all the injuries. But I think the 49ers are kind of that model of the NFL's this whole entire next man up mentality. If someone gets injured, you got to have someone step in, and we're going to move on, and we're going to win games. And the 49ers have done that, which is really impressive because you'll see injuries derail an entire season. I mean, look at the Bengals. Joe Burrow goes down. They miss the playoffs. The 49ers lose Brock Purdy. They throw Mac Jones in there, and they keep chugging along. So what Kyle Shanahan has done has been impressive. And you look at the game yesterday, George Kittle goes down, and now they need someone else to step up and catch passes. If Demarcus Robinson go in there and go over 100 yards, catch a touchdown pass, and that's what you need. Kyle Juszczyk had 4 catches. So it was just that all of these guys that maybe normally wouldn't be role players in that offense step up when a guy goes down. And for that to happen just every week, no matter how many injuries they suffer, I really think speaks volumes to the kind of job Shanahan has done. Now, the Seahawks this week obviously going to be a lot tougher matchup. I'll be surprised if they win that one. But even if they lose, I think it's an impressive season for the 49ers considering everything that's happened.
So we're kind of a Puka Nacua territory here in Utah, and he has 10 catches, 111 yards, and a touchdown in that win over Carolina. Can you put into terms how big Puka's been this season as a receiver and how much of this Rams push to success has been on his shoulders?
Oh, it's been all Puka. I think that if you took him out of that offense, his chemistry with Matthew Stafford is almost like what Stafford had with Calvin Johnson when he was in Detroit. Calvin Johnson is in the Hall of Fame right now, and you're seeing Puka put up these crazy numbers when he has a rocket-armed quarterback and he opens up everything they do on offense, whether that's running the ball with Kyron Williams, whether that's Devontae Adams being able to draw one-on-one coverage once they get inside the 5-yard line and making these short touchdown catches. That's all because every defense is worried about Puka Nacua. And the fact that these teams are focusing on him and he's still able to put up these huge numbers. I mean, it's not just going over 100 yards against the Panthers. He went over 200 yards against the Seahawks in that Thursday night game. So he has big games in big spots where sometimes players don't always come up big when they need to. But it just seems like that every time the Rams need him, he is there, and he's such a key part of that offense. And if he were to get banged up or injured or something where he wasn't there, that offense would take such a huge step back. So really, what he's done and the fact that he fell to the 5th round in the draft a couple years ago, just totally stunning. I mean, he's a top 3 receiver in the NFL, and you could certainly make a case for him being the number 1 overall receiver.
If you're the general manager or president of the Packers, what are you doing with Matt LaFleur?
That's a difficult one because I get why Packers fans might be thinking, hey, look, he can't win playoff games. There's just this tendency where the Packers blow up in the 4th quarter, and you get a little bit frustrated with that when you see your coach. I mean, Andy Reid, earlier in his career, there was just his time management, his game management, he just seemed a little bit off, and he couldn't win those big playoff games. Then Patrick Mahomes got there, and he started winning Super Bowls. So I think that the Packers maybe start to feel a little bit that way about Matt LaFleur. But I think when you look around the NFL, it is hard to justify getting rid of a coach of that caliber. So I'm not sure I would sign him to a 5-year extension because I would want to know. I would want him to prove that he can win these big games. But I don't think I would get rid of him. I think an extension probably makes the most sense.
I was texting back and forth with the guy that was around Jordan Love in college. And let me just read some of these because I think it's pretty spot on. He said, Jordan Love is so good and yet also so terrible. It's like there's either up or down. You never know what you're going to get there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the truth, the hot and cold quarterbacks where you don't know who's going to show up. Are you going to get the guy who looks like an MVP candidate, or are you going to get the guy who melts down and doesn't do much, which there's a couple games where Jordan Love almost pulls no-shows and doesn't put up big numbers. You know, he threw 4 touchdown passes against the Bears, but then he barely completed 50% of his passes. So it's a weird dynamic with him, and maybe he needs someone. Maybe you hire a QB coach or bring someone in to kind of help figure that out, because his game is so inconsistent. At times he looks like a top 7 quarterback in the NFL, and then there's other times where you're thinking, man, this guy doesn't even look like a top 20 quarterback. And we saw both those guys in that Bears game on Saturday night. So, yeah, that's absolutely the truth. And I think just watching if Jordan Love could play 4 quarters of good football every week, the Packers would be impossible to beat.
I'll tell you what, watching all these games, I started to really think about and miss an era of quarterback play in the NFL with all the greats from Tom Brady. I guess you could go back quite a couple more years, go to Peyton Manning, and you go into the Matt Ryans and the Drew Breeses, and you had this nice run and era. You even go Aaron Rodgers, who's, I guess he's got one more shot coming up tonight. But this crazy era of great quarterback play, and it just feels like this is a complete changeover. You're watching guys like Drake May and guys like Matt Stafford that have been around for a while, and they've had a couple good years, but now it's their show. It's Trevor Lawrence's show. It's Caleb Williams' show. It's Bo Nix's show. It's Justin Herbert's show. I would have thought that it would hurt it, but we were talking about NFL ratings. Like, it's never been healthier, has it?
No, I mean, everybody is watching right now. The NFL's never been more popular, but it is interesting to see kind of the torch passing between that prior era of quarterbacks and what we're in now. I do feel like Matthew Stafford, he's the dinosaur now. He's kind of the last of those classic pocket passers. He's 37 years old. We don't know how many more years he's going to be playing. And then we've kind of flipped over to every quarterback needs to have some mobility to their game, so you don't have a lot of those classic pocket passers anymore. Brock Purdy's probably in there, but even he's mobile. Joe Burrow's probably in there. But you do have these younger guys who can run around. I mean, Josh Allen versus Bo Nix in the divisional round is a great example of that, or Jalen Hurts winning a Super Bowl last year. And so it does feel like the quarterback dynamic has totally changed. And because of the way offensive coordinators are designing their offenses, the way quarterbacks also learn in college, it doesn't feel like we're ever really going to go back to just the classic pocket passers. I think there will be, every few years, there'll be that guy that comes along, someone like Burrow. But for the most part, the future at the quarterback position are guys who are mobile, guys who can throw, and the dual threat guys who can win you games with their arm and their legs.
All right. I've told Lloyd I've actually been excited to get you on because I want to ask you this question, because I think you're one of the few people that can answer this question correctly. Your dad, longtime kicker for the Cincinnati Bengals. What does he say about this world of kickers where a 55-yard field goal now is a chip shot in the NFL?
Well, it's crazy because we text all the time, especially, Cam Little goes out and hits a 68-yard field goal. I'll have my dad texting me before the ball even goes through the uprights. And I'll just say he is in absolute awe of what these kickers are able to do now. Because back in his day, he kicked from 1979 to 1992. I think there were only 2 or 3 field goals over 60 yards in that whole span by anyone. And now you're getting 5 a year. And so with the kickers, they're just so much more athletic. And they're limber, they're stronger, they can kick further, and then obviously you had a little rule change this year, so the footballs are a little bit softer, a little bit easier to kick, and so now you have just created this situation where teams are in field goal range as soon as they get to the 50-yard line. And when you add that to the fact that a touchback goes out to the 35-yard line, teams only have to go 15, 20 yards to be in field goal range, so it's really kind of completely changed what teams are doing, especially if you have a Cam Little or a Brandon Aubrey or someone who can consistently hit from beyond 60 yards. So it is a wild dynamic that has been created with all these great kickers.
Yeah, we have 2 missed extra points in a single game last night. Was that 49ers Eagles? I'm trying to remember the 2 missed extra points.
Well, not yet. Yeah, Jake Elliott missed one, and that was a big one, obviously, because that was a 23-20 game. If he hits that, the Eagles only need to get a field goal toward the end. And then, Brandon McManus had a total meltdown against the Bears, 2 missed field goals, a missed extra point. Obviously, all of those were costly. And so look, once you get to the playoffs, there's no way to kind of replicate the pressure of a playoff kick. You never know what you're going to get from a kicker in the playoffs. Brandon McManus had only missed one postseason kick in his entire life, and he missed 3 in the same game. Cam Little missed the 54-yard field goal right before that bizarre halftime stuff in Jacksonville. He hit 67-68 during the season, but you put a rookie or a second-year kicker in his first playoff game of his career, and he misses a kick that he would usually make. So watching a kicker kick in the postseason, to me, is just interesting because there is so much pressure, and you never know how it's going to go.
Can A.J. Brown return to Philadelphia, or is that marriage got unsolvable differences there?
And this feels like if you called your wife fat. It just feels like it's over. You're done. The divorce is happening. So I think that A.J. Brown, I would have a hard time seeing them resolve their differences. I mean, it's not just what happened against the 49ers. You have A.J. Brown kind of yelling at Siri on the sideline, but that's been going on all year. It seems like every other week there was some sort of drama with A.J. Brown complaining about the offense or yelling at someone on the sideline. It just seems like he doesn't want to be there anymore. So I would be surprised if he returns to Philly.
How does this game work out tonight?
Look, I don't want to bet against Aaron Rodgers because the Texans defense is great, top defense in the NFL. But if you are going to be able to move the ball against them, I think one thing you need is a smart quarterback who has seen everything, and that is Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, they have DK Metcalf back in the lineup for the first time in 2 weeks, so I think that gives the Steelers a chance. And the Steelers haven't lost a Monday night home game since 1991, and so just little things like that. I understand why they're the underdog, but that makes me want to pick Pittsburgh. But I do think the Texans' defense is just too good. I think it's to be a low-scoring game, and the Texans probably win by 3. I'll say 19-16 Houston.
Well, we appreciate your time. Thanks for hanging out with us as always, and enjoy this next round. Let's do it again soon.
Great stuff, John.
Yep, thanks for having me, guys.
That is John Breech, CBS Sports, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Do you miss that golden era of QBs that I was going through?
A little bit.
Remember, we were talking about it as it was kind of wrapping up, and we were saying, I think at that time there was 5, maybe 6 Hall of Famers that were rocking and rolling at one point.
Yeah.
And to see them all go, there's some good quarterback play. Don't get me wrong. I think Stafford, as the old dog, is good. Bo Nix, I think, he's entertaining. He's exciting.
That's true.
But I miss the...
Well, we haven't seen him play in the playoffs.
No. What I say, entertaining, meaning it could be really good or it could be really bad.
No. I'm with you right
like
there.
The guy said about Jordan Love.
Yeah.
So that was just a buddy that said that? Who said that? He could be really good or he could be really bad.
Let me, I'll show you here.
Seems to be more good than he is bad, though.
Yeah, but just in the course of that game, it was like, holy crap.
It was feast or famine.
Yeah.
It was big time feast or famine. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I would say he's more good than he is bad.
He is, but
and he's young.
Yeah. And I love Jordan. Called every play of his in college, but in the course of a game, you saw him look so good in the first half, and then the second half, not so good. And I'm not talking about roller coasters throughout the course of the season. I'm talking about in the course of a game, you can see it with him. And it's, you wish nothing but the best for him. And certainly you and I grew up with that era of Jim Kelly, Dan Marino, John Elway, Joe Montana, Boomer Esiason, those guys.
Those are great years.
And then,
great years of quarterback play.
And they kind of handed the reins on over to Peyton, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, those guys. And it seems like those guys are now handing it over to this next group.
Yeah, which is Patrick Mahomes, but I don't know what's happening with Patrick and what's happening with Kansas City and how far they're going to tumble and what this injury means to him.
Yeah.
Because that's a serious injury that he's gone through.
Yeah.
Late in the season. I don't expect him back until week 10. Well, maybe week 5 at the most. I mean, the medicine we've got nowadays is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But maybe week 5.
He'll go to Germany and inject himself with something and all of a sudden be right back out there and say, let's go. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to saddle up and talk about the winners and the losers. This is the Good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, here's the good.
It is the good, it is the bad, it is the ugly right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, so you've talked about the sanctity of a locker room. The people say things in a locker room they probably wouldn't say in general public, and that needs to stay there. And usually that's the case. You'll see a lot of these post-game coaches' reactions, and the team will put it out on social media. And then the coach will look around like, okay, is the media guy out? The video camera's out? Okay, let me tell you what I really think of you guys. Let me tell you what we really think about our opponent and all of that. Well, after a crazy game in which the Chicago Bears were left for dead and somehow came back and won. And by the way, do we owe Caleb Williams a little bit of an apology?
Let's see.
That dude's been dealing.
Let's see. Yeah, it's getting to the point where maybe fingernail polish isn't a bad deal.
Yeah, maybe not. But they come back, they beat the Packers, and Green Bay, their social media account, the official Instagram account, puts a post-game locker room comment from their head coach, Ben Johnson, who yelled out, F the Packers. And everybody's like, woo, that's your own account? That's crazy that somebody would sign off on that from your upper management, but they did it. They stood by it. And afterwards, Ben Johnson earlier this morning, was asked about those comments and like, hey, do you regret being that aggressive?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, there's a rivalry that exists between these two teams, something that I fully recognize and I'm a part of. And I mean, I don't like that team. So George and I have talked, and we're on the same page.
He's not backing down, and I love it. I'm like, go for it. We need more of that stuff because the NFL doesn't have, we have the Raiders and Broncos and Chiefs and Raiders and Green Bay, but you don't really feel like the old school rivalries anymore where the fans hate each other, but the teams don't seem like they really hate each other like they used to. Well, having a coach go scorched earth on a team like that, heck yeah, more of that, please.
There are some really good rivalries that do go on inside of a locker room. And there's teams and players that get under different players and teams' skin, and it just becomes a bitter, heated, nasty hatred and rivalry. You know, I think that the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady back and forth over all the years, I think that there was a lot of substance to that. And when I was playing with the Colts, just in a short period of time, I knew that New England was our absolute rival. It was the Colts' rival, and they were a thorn in our side, and going to Foxborough was miserable, and seeing those guys come into Indy was miserable, and Tom Brady became such a problem for Peyton Manning and the Colts in the long run, and you just knew. And was it Law? Who was the...
Oh, Ty Law?
Ty Law.
That would make Peyton's life miserable?
He had Peyton Manning's number.
Yeah.
You mean Jude Law?
No,
you're a little late on that one.
Not the actor, no. Anybody else?
L.A. Law? I don't know. Remember that show?
Not L.A. Law.
That was a long time ago.
Ned Law. Ned Law was he was a... Okay.
This is on you.
Yeah, this is on you.
I'll take it.
You
it's
did
fine.
that.
I was late to the punch. I didn't get it.
Ned Law.
You guys were so quick to know who it was.
He sold windshields in Weezer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was the windshield guy. Anytime you crack a windshield, you go to Ned Law.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he had the monopoly there in Weezer.
Yeah, he did. He cornered the whole market. Any others, Lloyd? Do you want to interject? Okay.
Nope.
So Ty Law was a real thorn, and there were certain guys that you just knew. So I love to see these rivalries. They're fun because, especially when the public knows. It's actually a fun thing for the public.
Oh, that's why I think every Packer. By the way, Ben Johnson just became the king of Chicago.
Yeah,
the sausage king. He's Abe Froman out there.
Yep.
Because every Bears fan is like, oh yeah, yep, he's our guy. It's like the Jason X situation in New Mexico when Bronco Mendenhall and the Aggies went back down there, and he's like, he gave up on all of you. He disrespected you. Well, bro, you don't have a job if he doesn't leave New Mexico.
Yeah.
But he's like just feeding the community, feeding it.
But instead, you're trying to win a game.
Exactly. And so now Ben Johnson's like, hey, I'll never pay for a dinner again here in Chicago as long as we keep beating the Packers. Winning a playoff game is important. Beating the Packers in the playoffs, that goes a long way in Chicago.
That is a really fun matchup. You know, you get two NFC North teams that get to see each other in a wild card. It's a fun matchup. And it couldn't have been a better game.
No.
Maybe a better outcome. I would have liked to seen Jordan Love walk away with that. I would have rather seen Green Bay advance.
Second time they've collapsed to the Bears. And a regular season collapse, too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's the second time.
All right. Hans and Scotty, there's your good. Let's get to the bad.
Now the bad.
You ready for your next $5+ million quarterback? Well, I feel bad for Arizona State in this whole thing. Sam Leavitt, who went into the transfer portal, Arizona State gave him a shot, played him as a freshman, and now Sam Leavitt is off to, well, the guy he likes to sit courtside with and hang out with it again.
They did it, huh?
Lane Kiffin got him.
They brokered the deal at LSU.
Yep, and expected to be somewhere between $5 and $6 million. So the Washington guy backs out. He returns back to Washington, and so they're like, "Well, Sam, let's get you taken care of here."
It makes me wonder because I could see Lane entertaining the two of them. I could totally see this. Lane entertaining those two quarterbacks, the Washington kid that was willing to spurn the Washington fans and faithful, and Sam Leavitt, and wanting both, making sure that he's going to land one, but keeping both in the hopper, getting the money put together for one of the two, but making both feel like they're his priority, and then him calling one of them saying, no, it's not happening. Yeah. Sam just committed, so you might want to make an apology note to Washington. We'll give you a day.
Yeah. Yeah. So
couldn't you see him doing that?
Oh, totally. Absolutely. And by the way, that happens a lot with recruits. You play the recruits off each other. Like, look, I got one spot. We've offered both of you. Whoever makes the phone call first.
But we need it.
But we need it. Yep. So Sam Leavitt on his way. Not official yet, but Pete Thamel reporting like it is done that he will be on his way to LSU. All right, there you go. Good, the bad, the ugly, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. A little edition of Whole World News coming up next, right here on the Zone.
Go! It's time to span the globe for the hard-hitting news you care about. Well, not really. But hey, at least we found it interesting. This is Whole World News on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
We got the whole world in our hands.
You got the whole world in our hands. We got the whole world in our hands.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hey, remember, tomorrow we will be live at Sound Sleep Medical. Make sure to stop by, say hi, 8941 South, 700 East in Sandy. Your chance to, and look, if you're dealing with sleep apnea, let's get it taken care of. Sound Sleep Medical coming up tomorrow from noon to 3. Yep.
Love them. Love that whole crew.
Yep.
So, Scotty, a hurricane is a New Orleans-based drink. It consists of dark rums mixed with passion fruit, orange juice, lime juice, grenadine, and simple syrups, typically served in a tall hurricane glass with an orange slice. And it was made famous in a Jimmy Buffett song called It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere.
Oh, that song. Oh, I know that song, but that's where that hurricane line comes from. Okay.
Get me a hurricane before I go insane. And he sings that song with another country singer.
Toby Keith, I thought.
No, it's the guy that sings about the beach all the time.
Oh, yeah, the guy that was married to Renee Zellweger for a minute,
That's him.
5 minutes.
That's him. Yeah, 3 minutes.
Kenny Chesney?
Yes.
That's him.
There you go.
5 O'Clock Somewhere with Kenny Chesney. They highlight the hurricane. It's good memories.
All right, so I want to take you back to your apartment with Scotty and Carlos and the rest of the crew.
Crazy place. Crazy place.
I don't know if you guys were probably, and I'm just going to speak for my college experience, we weren't necessarily known as being the most mindful when it came to the hygiene.
No.
And so this lovely young woman.
I wasn't.
Yeah. I'm talking about me too.
Oh, I wasn't.
and a lot of guys aren't at that age. Well, this lovely young woman goes to Instagram to talk about her boyfriend, who she really likes, and they've been dating for quite a while. And she's noticed that when he showers, he doesn't necessarily take care of business. And so she's trying to find ways to motivate him, and it's not quite working out the way she hoped.
So I've been dating in Austin. It's terrible. But I didn't see this one coming, you all. So the first time I go to this guy's apartment, we've gone on a few dates, and I notice that he doesn't have soap in his shower. Maybe he's out. I don't know. Don't say anything about it. A month goes by. We've been going on other dates. We go to his apartment. I look in the shower. Still no soap. This is weird. This is really weird. So I ask him and I say, hey, do you have any soap? And he says, oh, I ran out. I don't have any soap right now. And I said, well, how long have you been out of soap? He's like, oh, a few days. And I said, well, what have you been doing? He said, I've been using hot water. And I told him that I actually noticed about a month before that he didn't have any soap. And he eventually admits that just using hot water is fine to wash your body in his mind. So I told him that I did not agree with that and that he needed to get some soap. So he got some soap, and then I went back to his apartment. He had soap. The soap was completely full. I asked him if he used the soap. He said he did. I unscrewed the cap. The little foil thingy is still on the soap. He had not used the soap. So that's how my dating life is going.
All right, there's a couple things here. Number one, use the soap. I mean, it's probably a good idea. Use some soap. I understand you're under hot water for 5-7 minutes, and you think, you know what? I'm clean. I'm wet. I'm clean. I should be okay. Yeah, a little soap ain't gonna hurt you. But also, you may have dodged a bullet there. I mean,
I'd rather wash my life of her than wash my body.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I wanted to get.
Much rather.
I wanted to get the consensus from you guys before I made that opinion. But
if
yes,
you can't handle stinky me,
and me
then
at
you
my
don't
worst,
deserve me.
And the fact that she's like, oh, I'm setting a trap for you.
No, that's a dirty little trap too.
Yeah,
it's dirtier than that boy's body. That's for sure. You can't do that to somebody. That's entrapment.
Why are you snooping in his bathroom anyways? Stay out of his shower. Why are you snooping?
I'm suing, man.
He's suing?
I'm suing her. Like, really? You're gonna set this whole thing up, and then you're gonna talk crap about me on social media? That's libel, lady.
Well, I don't know. If it's true, you can't sue for libel. That's one of the tenets you have to prove that it's not accurate. And he's like, well, I want to sue. Why? Because she said I'm dirty. Well, are you? Well, yeah. You can't really sue.
I could smell you in the hallway. I think that she's got a point. How about you just take it as advice?
Yes.
And we all grow from this.
And I don't think she named him by name, so maybe that's a good thing. But I just, look, there's sometimes you got to do a quick shower. You just do a in and out real quick and off you go. Well, you still need to use the soap.
Dude, I think back to all of the women that were willing to kiss me back in the college days and how wretched that must have been for them, because I just was not a toothbrusher. I just didn't brush my teeth a lot. And when I say a lot, I'm saying once a week, twice a week, maybe.
Stop it. Stop
Lloyd,
it.
I didn't realize how necessary it was.
We found out later.
Yeah, I found out later. Found out luckily in time for amazing Amanda to find me. But before that, I was really struggling. I had some buddies have to have real honest conversations with me.
Well, I think the one thing that you've done is that you've proved to all of us that if you're strong, great at football, reasonably attractive, funny. Oh, funny's the biggest one.
Got to make a woman laugh.
You got to make her laugh. That you can get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, horrifying breath.
Yeah.
Bad body odor.
And that's what I tell my 14-year-old. He's starting to, hey, I kind of like this girl. I'm like,
starting to see them.
Okay, here's the thing. You got dad's genetics. All right, so you're kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit there. Like that I can't help you with. But this is what I can help you with. You got to be great at something. Whether it's sports, whether it's financial security, whether it's just being funny, you have to have something that sets you apart from you can't be mediocre at everything. Because your looks, nothing you can do about that. I mean, you can go to the gym and do some stuff, but you pretty much are what God gave you. So you got to be outstanding, great in one area, and really go all in. If you're the funny guy, be the best funny guy. If you're the smartest, be the smartest. If you're the best, trombone player, be that. Like something that sets you apart from everybody else.
You be that, but still, there's a level of get for that. Like trombone.
I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. for all you band nerds out there, look, you're going to probably pull a 5.5 or a 6.
But you're right.
Come on.
But you're right. If you're Yo-Yo Ma of the trombone, you're going to pull something.
You'll get something.
Yeah.
But also, too, brush your teeth.
Yeah. It really was a game changer. When I figured that out, that was a game changer.
I was like, oh, I'm in another stratosphere here.
Yeah. And I told you that one of my teammates yelled at me in the huddle. Byron Frisch just chewed me out in the huddle during a game.
Because of your breath?
Yeah. He's like, you've got to breathe in a different direction. In the huddle. Like, we're in the huddle. Rob Morris is putting in the plays. Like, breathe in a different direction. Your breath reeks. In a huddle. During a game. No. That was Byron.
Oh, Byron. Yeah, sorry.
But that was Rob Morris' days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had some really
But here's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, I talked to a lot of athletes in post-game, and there's some wretched breath. But that's probably because of what you've been doing and all that.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think nerves make your breath bad. It gives you bubble guts, makes your breath bad.
I think the lack of brushing makes your breath
bad.
No. But
I'm just saying.
There's somebody that I've worked with in the past. Oh, sorry, everybody.
Camera's still working.
Sorry, the camera's still on.
Sorry, Jake.
No.
Oh. I think you did.
No,
did you say that out loud?
No, not on staff in the sports world where I used to do post-game interviews. I'm like, whoa. Oh. And this guy had solid white teeth, but you can tell throughout the course of the game, I don't know, a lot of yelling, screaming, I guess. I don't know.
Physical exertion makes your breath stink, Lloyd.
Yeah, Lloyd, back off.
But good water can really help that.
Yes. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Looking for the latest on the Jazz, Utes, Cougars, and Aggies? Yeah. We've got you covered. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Was that recent or was that pre-Kyle or post-Kyle?
That was post-Kyle. That just happened over the weekend.
Braden Fowler Nicolosi.
Is that the guy that kept Brousseau off the field?
Yes. And then finally Brousseau knocked him out. And
took the start.
And now he's going to Michigan? That dude's,
23 hours ago, that was the announcement.
Yeah, well, I guess you need depth for Underwood, but that guy's not going to lead you to any Big Ten championships.
Well, a lot of things are starting to shake out with more and more players announcing their return. You had Evan Johnson, the corner for BYU. You had Hunter Clegg, the defensive end, the backup defensive end for BYU. That I do think he's got some really good upside. But more importantly, Utah got a couple that were very important.
Yeah, Byrd Ficklin announced he'd already made the announcement that he was coming back, and then things were a little up in the air with the coaching situation. That was pre-Kyle leaving, and now reiterated over the weekend that he, in fact, is going to return to the University of Utah.
Well, that's great news.
In fact, he tweeted, "Part 1 always has a part 2. Let's run it back."
Does it? Does it?
Will there be a part 3?
When is this? Is it the 17th? This bad boy finally closes? The portal?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's the 17th. And now, if you're already in the portal, you can wait until, fall camp to go choose somewhere. You just have to be in the portal by the 17th. So, 16th. Oh, even better. There'll still be guys and there'll still be signings and guys going somewhere, but they have to be in the portal by the 16th.
Well, just a few more days. That thing will close up, and it'll be nice to have that thing close up. Did you see Marky Atawaya's rant that he went on?
Yeah, I did.
About when the portal opens and how school is going and how it just is a terrible, terrible time to open up a portal. I get it. These coaches have had it. I just talked with a coach last night. Really good coach. And I had a couple of different questions for him in regards to a couple of things. And I ended up finally talking to him. It took him, usually he gets back to me same day. It took him like 3 days to get back. And he just said, this is a nightmare. Like, it's a nightmare. What we're dealing with is absolutely ridiculous. And it is a coach in the state in a major university. It's just ridiculous. And he didn't get into the specifics of what he was dealing with. My guess is it's portal, it's coaching changes, it's administration. It's one of probably 5 things that keep these coaches underwater, trying to build a team that can get them 8 wins to keep the Wolves off, Because it takes 8 wins about to keep the Wolves off.
Yeah. I mean, that's the sad part is as a coach, you can completely turn around your team very quickly. But athletic directors know that as well. So if you don't turn around a team very quickly or you regress very quickly,
find a guy that can.
We'll get a guy in here that can, because we know we can change things around real quick.
Where do you think the pressure is for Bronco Mendenhall right now? Bringing in Robert and but losing all the talent, loses his offensive coordinator. What position coaches did he lose with McGiven?
He lost a tight end coach and McGiven. I think, as far as I know, that's it.
Did they just hire Skylar Ridley as the wide receiver?
Wide receiver coach, yeah. I don't know where their wide receiver coach went. But it sounds like they kept their O-line coach, and it feels as if that the defensive staff, for the most part, is in place.
Is back.
And they didn't really lose. Pagan's a big loss for sure. But overall, they need just to add people. The biggest talent they lost was just attrition, was just guys graduating. Bryson Barnes, you would love to find a way to get him an extra year. Sadly, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But they just need quarterback depth.
Ike's done?
Yes, Ike's done.
Yeah, these coaches are dealing with a very messy situation. So they'll be happy when that portal finally closes on the 16th. But then you've got coaches that are going to be looking to replenish their team.
Yeah.
They finally see, all right, what pieces are gone? What pieces are in the portal? What do we have to try to rebuild on? Utah's got a lot of work to do. BYU, not as much, but BYU's got to find running back depth. I haven't heard any details on Sione Moa, but they've got to find running back depth. I felt like the cupboards were pretty bare when L.J. Martin would go down. I think that they may have found a wide receiver piece. This 6'6", 4-star out of Oregon.
Yeah.
Might be a dude. But why do you leave Oregon?
Yeah. Pagan's a nice addition, but I don't know how much he really helps out. You're going to need talent on all sides. And the guy from Oregon, don't know much about him. I know a lot about Pagan, and I know he can get it done, at least at the Mountain West level. I'm not sure about the Big 12 level.
Well, Utah's going to love him, I think.
He should.
Utah will love him. And I think Utah's going to love Kevin McGiven.
Yeah.
Oh, another funny thing from the rivalry game.
Yeah.
Morgan Scally came out at half.
Yeah.
And brought the full coaching staff and introduced all of his coaches. Have you guys heard this?
No.
So he introduced all of his coaches, and then he starts talking to the crowd. And I think it was Marky Atawaya came up to him and was like, "Hey, you forgot one of the coaches." And Morgan's like, "Oh, I am such an idiot. I did not introduce my best friend on the staff, Sharif Shah." He totally forgot to introduce Sharif, and Sharif's like, "Hey, now, between those two,
that's never going to end.
No hurt feelings.
No.
Like, they'll be brothers forever, but Sharif is going to razz him.
Oh, boy.
And give him a hard time, but then
Guess
Sharif
I don't
was
matter anymore.
Sharif did this whole thing, and the place went crazy because obviously Utah loves Sharif.
Yeah.
But, yeah, seeing the new Utah staff announced was pretty awesome. And Kevin McGiven is something, man. I think he's going to be great.
Yeah. It's just it's interesting. I mean, you talk about BYU, and yeah, they add the receiver, and there's a lot of things that they're doing well down there, but there's just that nucleus is there, and so you feel good about that nucleus. And then you look at Utah, and they're going to add some pieces, but Devin Dampier, we still haven't heard anything from him one way or another, right? I'm just following. No. I don't think so.
No.
And so I assume with Underwood and now the other quarterback from Colorado State going to Michigan, I assume that Michigan's probably out of play for Dampier, but that doesn't mean somebody else can't be throwing him gobs and gobs of cash.
There's going to be I'll bet there's 10 teams that'll fight big money, tooth and nail for his services. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
10 P4 teams.
Yeah.
That are going to try to get in the sweepstakes.
And especially now as you get a little closer to the end of the portal, there's teams out there that are going to start panicking. They're going to be like, we haven't got our quarterback, man. We have not gotten our quarterback. You said we were going to get a quarterback. They're like, well, you know what? We've been offering, $2.5, $3 million, and people are outbidding us. We need more money. All right, well, I'll give you $5 million, but you better get us a quarterback. And so you're going to see a late push by people that are like, we got to get somebody, and they're going to probably overspend on somebody. And Devin Dampier could be a guy that could be waiting it out and seeing if there's a last-minute push. I'm not saying he's going to, not at all. I'm just saying that's the economics of it.
I want to see him back so bad for Kevin McGivern. Don't you think that's a match made?
Match made, yes. Jason Beck and Kevin McGivern are very similar in the way they call plays.
Yeah, and the way they can organize and play to their strengths, and where they can maximize their strengths and they can try to diminish their weaknesses, their weak areas. They know how to work around like weaker areas. They're very self-aware with their rosters. I just think Devin Dampier and Kevin McGivern could do some real great things together. And Byrd Ficklin, I think that still needs to be the rotation made in heaven. I think that those two need to be able to work hand in hand. And it just seems like they're good friends and they can do it.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that wants to make Byrd Ficklin a permanent fixture in an offensive backfield with Devin Dampier somehow. Don't know how you're going to do it, but somehow.
Tell you what, if there's an OC that would love to have that problem and love to play around with that situation, it'd be Kevin McGivern. The dude's a mad scientist.
Yeah.
And, I mean, some of the formations he ran, I would suggest if you're a Utah fan, go look at some Utah State game film this year, and you will see all types of formations. I mean, there's really, when's the last time you saw somebody talk about a 31 set?
Yeah.
3 running backs, 1 tight end. Like, you don't hear that very often.
It's not a lot.
No, and that happened multiple times.
You found a way to play. Did you play David Robinson and Tim Duncan together, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. He won an NBA title with that.
And you figured that out. And Tim Duncan kind of learned, and I know a lot of people don't hold him as a center, and they try to hold him as a power forward, and it gets exchanged. But, the brilliant coaching minds out there that figure out how to put talent on the field with talent, they're the ones that get the most. And Kevin McGivern's that kind of guy. He'll figure it out. If he gets Dampier and Ficklin back, you just wait. It's going to be some type of backfield that is pretty darn unique and pretty darn hard to stop. If he can figure it out, he'll do it. Don't you think?
Yes. I have little concern about that. And with his creativity, with the weapons that he has available to him, if Dampier does in fact come back, that Utah offense, I just don't think it goes backwards. Jason Beck set the bar really, really high, but I can't imagine they go backwards.
The other thing I was thinking about with Kevin McGivern is that was the perfect hire for Jordan Gross.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it was an Andy Ludwig or a Robert and I think Jason Beck would have probably worked with him. Maybe even an Aaron Roderick, because Roderick is so established. But I think Roderick would probably work with him pretty well. But some of these very stern, long in the tooth offensive coordinators, they don't have a lot of time for inexperience. And I think Kevin McGivern's the perfect guy to bring Jordan Gross in and say, what are you good at? Well, I'm good at teaching the reach. I feel like I'm pretty good with relationships in recruiting. I feel like I can take two undersized interior guys and get them working really well in tandem. So I know I can work really good undersized combos. Okay, let's write it down, what you do really well. Now, how can I use what Jordan Gross, his inexperience, but what he feels like he does well, because I need to make him successful to make me successful. So let's put this down on paper. What do you feel like you can coach? I feel like I'm really good at jump sets, which would create, quick 3-step pockets. I do have two different protections that I really like with my fronts. I like a slide protection, and I like a 2-man pull protection. All right, let's work with it. Let's do it. You feel like you can coach this well? Yeah. Okay, implement your verbiage. Implement these two pass pros. I want these kind of play side zone reads. I want you to get your reach block, and I think we can work that way. That's how Kevin McGivern works. I think he's awesome. He's a perfect hire for Jordan Gross, and I think Gross is going to find that out pretty quick. And this is his best opportunity to succeed.
Yeah.
His home crowd, his home team, he's beloved. He's going to be given leash, and he's going to need it. He's losing 5 guys.
And you're replacing a guy who's been so integral to the success of the University of Utah over the last several years.
And Jim Harding.
Jim Harding is the only good thing that came out of the Dave Christensen era was Jim Harding.
Yeah.
That was it.
And he was great.
And he was awesome.
So I'm excited to see those guys work together.
Not a lot of guys could stand in the face of the fury of Kyle Whittingham and say, well, just fire me then.
Just effing fire me. Man, and if the cameras were panned in perfectly.
They got the perfect shot of that bad boy.
To see the exchange. So the portal getting nearer and nearer to closing, and it'd be great to see Dampier. Look, I don't even care if he doesn't need to put out a release.
No, I don't either.
If you want to stay silent, his teammates know. I guarantee you the bulk of his teammates know right now what his decision is. So they're either just completely ignoring the noise, or there might be some that don't know that are asking teammates. It's spreading crazily. They'll know quickly. But Smith Snowden, I saw he had it narrowed down to 3 teams: Notre Dame, Oregon, and Michigan.
And Michigan, okay.
Yeah, I think that's what I saw. But I don't want to misspeak. That could have been AI, but I saw his image in those 3 teams.
Mm.
So we'll see where Smith Snowden lands here pretty soon. One thing of note: BYU did not lose anybody of note.
Yeah, I mean, I saw, and I want to be careful about this because you get so worried about what you see and what you don't see and if it's real or not. I saw something where Max Alford might be going in the portal. And if that's the biggest loss that you have of a player you probably didn't want to lose. I mean, there's been a lot of people that I'm sure Kalani's been like, hey, here's the writings on the wall.
And you do have some linebacker replacement.
Yeah. And so if that's one of your key losses, then you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, you'll get through that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when Hunter Clegg announced that he was coming back, that's not even icing on the cake. That's kind of like a sprinkle on top of the icing that's on the cake. I think Hunter's got really good upside, but he's not icing.
No.
He's sprinkle.
It's a cherry.
I don't even know, man. That maraschino cherry up top.
Those are pretty good.
Was pretty good. I think it's an individual chocolate sprinkle.
One individual chocolate sprinkle.
That's him. I think he's going to be great, but he's not great yet. But I think he's going to be great.
All right, Hans and Scotty, this is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hey, by the way, first reported by you and now officially reported by Weber State, Gavin Fowler has been officially named the defensive coordinator for Weber State.
Okay, so he won't be coming back to BYU.
Oh, that came out about 15 minutes ago.
All right. Good for Weber State.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a...
You think there may have been a last-minute push for him for other schools?
Don't know. I would have thought that Jay Hill taking the Michigan job, vacating the safety and the DC, your other defensive back coach, Gennaro Guilford, leaving for Michigan, I would have thought that would have vacated that back end, and you could have got Gavin, who's orchestrated that back end for 3 years with Gary and Jay and Gennaro, and probably had a pretty solid replacement there. But he also wants to grow in the coaching world, and he's got an opportunity to be a coordinator. Yeah. So good for him.
Be the guy calling the plays. All right, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The wheel is loaded, and it's time to talk some sports. This is Sports Roulette with Hanson Scotting on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Oh, you got to be kidding me. My dues for my wood turning club just went up $10.
They get you.
Everybody's always out to make a buck these days.
Me.
Oh, Lloyd, these old retirees are finding ways to just milk nickels and dimes out of the youth.
Eesh, man.
And when you join up clubs of retirees, you have to adhere and abide by their policies.
And all we get is like a Costco cookie at the end of it, too. Like, if we're going to be jacking up the prices for our monthly meetings, let's at least make them count.
I love that you're a part of a turning club.
I know.
So what are we going to whittle today, boys?
No whittling. Wood turning. Come on.
Yeah, but I thought that they call lathing whittling.
No. It's turning.
See, that's
Whittling with a machine, right?
That's why I've got to subscribe.
Kind of.
Sort of?
That's why you got to come to the club meetings.
Got to subscribe. Is K-Bank part of that club?
No. I don't know if K-Banks even knows about this one. This is like a secret underground one.
Is there a secret handshake?
They're raising fees, yeah.
You shake with 3 fingers only.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
Nobody has any thumbs. It's awesome.
How'd you lose yours, Bob? The lathe. How about you? The lathe.
So I'm taking all the doors to go in are push doors.
That spalted birch got me. Got caught up on there and ripped that thumb right out.
Got no thumbs.
I was ripping through a piece of basswood with a V-wedge.
Yeah. Jeez. You know how those usually go.
Basswood caught my pinky.
All right, let's get to it. Lloyd, fire up that wheel.
Wild card weekend ends with Aaron Rodgers' last stand.
Is this it? Is this the last game we'll ever see Aaron Rodgers play if they lose today?
I do believe so. I think this is it for Aaron Rodgers.
I hope so.
Well,
I'm just done with the circus. Like, he's still playing relatively well, but it's just
we just had John Breech on CBS Sports, right?
Correct.
He's really good. And John Breech said he wouldn't be surprised to see Aaron Rodgers do some big things tonight. I wouldn't be surprised to see Aaron Rodgers sleepwalk through the first half and then shut it down in the third quarter and be like, I got you there.
Yeah.
Everybody should be happy with that.
I did my part.
Got the win over the Ravens, got us here. So be happy.
He's going up against the nastiest defense in the NFL right now in Houston. Those dudes will flat out just try to take your head off. And this is a game where, like, there was a playoff series, John Stockton's last playoff series. They were playing Sacramento, and there was this player that didn't really do much after and didn't do much before, but his name was Bobby Jackson. And Bobby Jackson tore John Stockton apart in that series. From start to finish, just tore him apart. Dribbled right past him, got everything he wanted at the rim. And John Stockton, after that playoff series, said, you know what? I'm done. This Houston defense might be the thing that puts Aaron Rodgers over the top because they might put enough hits on him where he's like, I'm going to go find me another actress and I'm going to go hang out in the woods somewhere.
Go climb around Hawaii again?
Yeah. Who was
I always want to call the guy Wilford Brimley, but it
was the guy from Top Gun, right?
Yeah. It's not Wilford.
Miles Teller.
There. See,
Is that it?
It's a similar name to Wilford.
Are you guys? You guys are like on point with your names today.
Not giving
Miles Teller.
Not giving you any opportunities to screw us up.
Jude Law.
Lloyd's going to be like, do you mean Penn and Teller?
You mean? Come on.
It's Miles. But Aaron Rodgers is one of the last quarterbacks in the league born in the 80s.
Oh, jeez. Oh, it makes me sick.
He's one of the last born in the 80s. Aaron Rodgers turned 42, so he's working on 43 right now.
And I remember that draft with him and Alex Smith like it was yesterday.
2005.
Yeah. That doesn't seem like 2005 is not that long ago.
Well, it's only 20.
But it's 20 years.
It's only 20 years.
Ugh. All right, spin it, Lloyd.
Two schools think polls are fun.
Yes. BYU, although BYU not overly thrilled, their close win against Utah actually dropped them 2 spots in the AP poll. So they fall from number 9 to 11. First time this year that BYU is not in the top 10 in the AP poll. And Utah State, after their convincing victory over Boise State, is now in the top 25.
Ooh.
They are now ranked number 23.
Jumped Seton Hall in Tennessee. And they find themselves in there. Good for Utah State.
So the Aggies top 25.
But come on, polls are fun.
They are fun. Fun, but not fun if you get a win, but yet you still drop. And apparently that's what people think of a close win against the University of Utah.
Is Gonzaga considered in the new Pac-12 yet? Are
yes.
they still?
No, it's official. They will be.
Okay.
Not this year, but next year.
But they will be.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just looking at what will be the new Pac-12. You've got Gonzaga at number 9 and Utah State at number 23. That's the only ones that stand out to me.
Yeah. I mean, and then San Diego State's usually hovering around the top 25. They're not, although they are undefeated in Mountain West play. They're 5-0.
But not ranked.
No, they got off to a real poor start.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
But only, is it 3 years removed from the championship game?
Yes. Yeah. This will be the 3rd year. Yeah.
That's insane.
Well,
to think that San Diego State got there. I wonder what they spent on that roster.
Not much. And they kind of, because that roster of what was available just got butchered by the portal after that.
Why would we want to run it back, boys?
Yeah. Let's
all go get it. I get it, though. Every time I think about it, then I'm like, I get it. Yeah, you go get that money. Because the NBA is not coming calling for 98% of college athletes.
Well, even if you're like, okay, I don't know the numbers on Sam Levitt, but let's say Arizona State offered Sam Levitt $2 million to stay. And you got LSU that's offering $5 or $6 million. And you're thinking, if you're a fan, you're like, oh, we're still going to make you a millionaire. Okay, $3 million is a lot of money. $4 million is a lot of money to leave on the table. And I'm not sure when I'm ever going to be able to have that level of earning potential again. So I need to take advantage of it while I can.
Yeah, those opportunities don't come often.
Because you guys aren't going to give two you-know-whats about me when I'm 28, 30, 35, 40. Right. You're not going to care. You're not going to start a GoFundMe because I'm $3 million short of where I would have been. So guess what? I got to go get mine while I can. And anybody out there that doesn't think you wouldn't do the same, you're kidding yourself. You would.
Promise you. Think about what you're currently doing. What business are you in? If I called you up right now, as long as you've been there and as great as those relationships are, and I said, I've got $5 million, I want you to come work at the Zone. You're going to leave and you're going to work at the Zone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, I was talking to a Utah State booster, and he was like, I can't believe Braden Pagan left. Like, everybody giving up on him, and he only had one catch at UCLA, and that was it. And Utah State took a shot at him and said, we'll give you an opportunity. And he blows up, and what does he do? He leaves for money. I'm like, yeah, I would too. Look, I love calling games for Utah State. Absolutely love it. Dream opportunity to be able to call games for Utah State. If somebody came in and said, I'm going to give you $2 million to call games for Boise State. Guess what?
Oh, wow. Even the Broncos?
You take that back.
Oh,
you
that
would
feels
not.
So...
All right, never mind.
That might be a promo, actually, right there.
Lloyd, you better lose that audio.
Feels yucky.
No, you can't make a promo out of that. You can't. You can't do that.
Oh,
hey, what we say on air.
Nah,
so if J.R. Simplot calls, you're in.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, that got away from me a
Bronco
little bit.
country.
What are you doing?
That got away from me a little bit.
Oh, the orange and blue?
I would love to see that fan base react to that press release that comes out.
Lloyd, this feels really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there with you.
You know how you just talk and sometimes stuff just comes out? That was one of those. All right.
Everybody but Boise State.
Yeah, or If the Raiders call, no, I couldn't do that either.
Oh, I bet you could. Absolutely.
You'd lose a son. You'd lose a son, but you'd gain a bank account.
All right. Okay, Brody, you're mad at me.
Jeez,
but guess what? Where do you want to go to school? Because we can pay for that now. Yeah. All right.
I bet you Brody would become a Raiders fan.
Yeah, I think he would. I think he could. All right, Hans and Scotty. We'll wrap up this bad boy next right here on The Zone.
Number one. Miss any part of the show? Every moment of every show is available in podcast form by searching Hans and Scotty on your favorite podcasting platform or online at KSLSports.com. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Make sure to join the show tomorrow. We'll be at Sound Sleep Medical. Are you dealing with sleep apnea? Well, you don't have to anymore, and you don't need a CPAP machine because we got you covered. Go to Sound Sleep Medical. We will be there tomorrow from noon to 3. All the information on how you can treat your sleep apnea without a CPAP machine.
Enjoy your final wild card game coming up tonight. You got the Steelers and the Texans. I think it's actually going to be another good game.
Yeah, this is going to be another 16-6 game too. It's going to be a low-scoring game.
So you'd say take the under?
Yes.
All right.
I don't even know what the over-under is, but I would still take the under.
The over-under is set at 38.5.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you wanting to win?
Me? Steelers.
You do want Aaron Rodgers.
Actually, no. I'm just trying to think what's best for my Broncos.
That's why I wanted to know.
Actually, I think I want Houston to win because then Houston could knock out New England. And then I think Denver at home could beat Houston. But
That'll be tough.
I don't like that Bills matchup, though. I don't like that at all. I would much rather be playing. I think the 2 seed got the better end of it because they're now going to play the winner of Pittsburgh and Houston. Denver's already a 1.5 underdog as the 1
Buffalo.
seed to Buffalo, which, kind of makes sense.
As a home team.
Yeah.
It might make sense, but the Broncos better make them pay. I'm on this ride with you, man. I'm excited for your Broncos.
Make them pay.
Make them pay. They
with
pay with Mays. Hey, give me the Texans tonight by 7.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
They're currently favored by 3. I'm gonna go Texans -7.
It's always the kids who pay.
Kids
pay.
They pay with Mays.
They pay. They always pay. But they pay with Mays.
All right, wrapping up another great show, at least in our opinion. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.